98.9 is Win FM.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
A better me plus a better you equals better businesses and organizations. At the Sagicor Cave Hill School of Business and Management, we're giving you the opportunity to become a better you. Save 30% on selected executive education and professional development programs and experience the power of continuous learning and development. Gain new skills, broaden your knowledge, strengthen your impact, because your development is your best investment. Visit cavehill.uwi.edu/schsbm to learn more. Promotion ends January 31st, 2026. Terms and conditions apply.
A pleasant good morning to one and all. It's just about 11 minutes after the hour of 8. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. Just to remind you, we're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, YouTube, as well as Facebook. We are on your FM dial at 98.9 on the FM. Just to remind you, if you wish to bring something pressing to the fore or join in on the conversation, our local number is 466-0989. In the U.S., 1-305-921-4619 or 1-718-285-6984, or in the UK, 0333-440065. And if you wish to advertise with us, just to remind you of that number, it's 466-9586. Quint, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Plenty better than yesterday, so I want to say thanks for the prayers and everything else that has been happening. So I feel a lot better, and I still have my cough, but I am keeping my remedies going. They have worked so far, so I'm going to keep doing my plenty things, as we call it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to start off this morning with something that I saw yesterday that literally broke my heart, and let me see if I can pull it up.
What the other player told you during games. Okay, Max,
Okay.
tell me again what the other player told you during games.
So the goalkeeper in futsal, he said some really bad stuff to me, and it just made me get really emotional. In my game, I rarely get emotional in soccer. And this guy told me I'm an illegal immigrant, even though I was born in America. He said Trump is gonna get me and send me back to where I used to live, and I was born in America. I don't live anywhere else. And then he called me an effing B word, and I just don't get why kids like to say those stuff. And it makes me really sad that how they just control their power like that. They think they have power, and it's just not nice.
Sorry, Max. Okay, Max, tell me again.
So, and it says kids living in Trump America. And you see the little boy, he's so heartbroken. And as I said, it broke my heart because he looks like he's just like maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. And to see that, as he said, he's an American.
Well,
he has not lived anywhere else. And
the
this
good
is
thing, the good thing is that he's an American, and perhaps he might be one who changes things when he comes up. even
But
though,
with so
even
many-
though we hope it changes long before, because he's very young.
boy. Because with so many people with this mentality that nobody that doesn't look like them, Caucasian, shouldn't live there. It's just supposed to be about them. And to see young kids playing football, and that's what the next young kid is going to tell a teammate.
Yeah, well, it's a norm, you know.
Oh,
You'd be amazed at how much that happens. That's a norm. Sad, but hey, that's the world we live in. Hello, caller.
Good morning.
How much that's the norm. Sad, but hey, that's where we live in. Hello.
Hello, caller. Listen to your phone and not your radio or TV or whatever.
Hi, good morning, Quint.
Good
Sorry
morning.
for that delay. Good morning, Quint. Good morning, Hortensia.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, and
What
how
a
are
way
you?
to start the program. It is in the same vein, but locally, our region, because we realize what emanated from our Prime Minister, our esteemed Prime Minister, who wears two hats, being Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and also being the chairperson of CARICOM. And in order for our Prime Minister to have said what he said concerning the MOU and the feedback, the regional and global feedback that he has gotten, and to have sit down in the Freedom Studio with Jamie, and to have even made matters worse. I would like to see the empirical data as to why our Prime Minister has decided that, yes, the Haitians has reached their zenith in terms of the what we would have allowed. And so, therefore, the health system, the educational system is stretched for the Haitians and for no other nationality. And Haiti can be considered to be our big brother.
But
If
hey,
we are siblings.
but Africa, how is it stretched for them? But we're still going to bring in people from other places.
But you know, Quint, I would not go down a particular road, but I want to make a comparative analysis here, a critical one at that. Here with it, you have the island of Hispaniola, and you have the Dominican Republic on one side, the larger side of it, and you have Haiti on the other side. And I, growing up in the town of Newtown, a lot of my friends would not agree to say that I live Newtown. They will say that I live Spanish Town. Okay? You have heard Little Haiti, you have heard Little Havana in Florida, and all of those connotations to those areas where persons ethnic group would have settled. And I want to see the empirical data from our Prime Minister that the Haitians has reached their zenith in terms of allowing Haitians to come here as opposed to not allowing any other. Because I'm not going to go down there. I use the comparative analysis because it's one landmass.
But why don't you want to go down there? Not that I'm pushing you to go down there. I'm just curious because I feel if you're gonna if you're gonna make us not you if the Prime Minister is gonna make a statement and say we will accept, but why accept others but not those? Go ahead.
Because I think I am graduated from being so childish, and our Prime Minister is very childish. Our Prime Minister has a tendency of lying to the nations and cannot accept an error and to come to the nation with humility. So he's going to tell another lie to cover up one lie, one of the many lies, and it does not go well for his diplomacy, for him being the chairperson of a regional body. That is why I'm not going to go down there, because it's childish for me to say, oh, look, a former administration did not allow some people to come in. Look, a former administration probably did send home pregnant women and all of that. I would not go down there because of those childishness in terms of our maturity, in terms of politics, and assuming position of leadership.
But
and to be dabbling in childish behavior.
But Africa, why can't these leaders realize that the things that they're accusing the former regime for is the reason why they are there?
Yes,
they're there to make changes. So the others did nonsense. You get there, people expect you to make changes, and then way into your term, you're saying, look what they did and look what they did. So you're in effect saying, well, I deserve to be pushed out too.
Okay, listen up this now. This is on a wider body, but the timing is so perfect. Do you know that St. Kitts and Nevis is one of 13 nations that probably next month or the following month, we are going to the UN Human Rights organization. There's a committee that is set up to really revisit some of the things because, you know, for instance, 1840, there always was the contention with 1840 and a case to have a new facility, correctional facility, which 1840 is not. It is from the old colonial era, right? That within the human body, the human rights body, and so. So even for the Prime Minister now to have said what he said, it really adding insult to injury in terms of this information getting back to the UN human rights bodies here, which we're not in a vacuum. They're already scrutinizing what our Prime Minister has said recently.
Yeah.
And so our AG and his team, they're going to the UN body now to face off the non-human rights practices that we scored so low in, and then now this here now with Haiti. If the human rights body that care about Haiti, in which I am not convinced, because it was a conspiracy, and the conspiracy has been redound to us now, siblings, to treat our sisters and brothers the same in the same vein that France and the United States and Spain has treated them and has have them and where they have broken them. If they would have gotten it done with, for instance, Iran with the demonstration, genuine demonstration because of the economy and the monetary currency fell, and then persons find that. But that was a perfect moment for the Mossad and the CIA and the MI6 to stir up confusion in Iran.
Africa,
had they had gotten it so,
Africa,
Iran probably would have been a failed, broken state to this day.
Can I ask a question? Remember when we had the Haitians that were up in the cave? It wasn't the labor administration just yet. And we put all of them in a truck. We basically had a video, so we basically were shaming them as they were being driven wherever to be sent back wherever. And I think those persons were repatriated to their countries, right?
I think so.
Okay, so we didn't treat them good then, because we had these people
No.
in handcuffs. We let them down. People took videos. It's not us. I'm not from here. I'm a citizen, however. But when I look and I see things that are said, being a non-citizen, sometimes it gets to me because I'm a human being. I'm an empath. So
Yes,
I'm looking at
I
them,
agree.
right? We sent them back. We treat them badly then. So we did it then. We're doing it again. What is the difference with then and now?
That's what we're saying.
Exactly. And so that is a trend. That is a trend. That is a trend by all of the heads of states. And think it's a Nevis. And it's not because of security, because you realize with the last sit-down with Jamie in Freedom, the Prime Minister has suffered to move away from that security, pretext that he started off. Because he started off as, well, it was security. Why would you say security when you would have scrutinized those that would have been eligible to come? They would have already passed all of the security checks, and those who would have come would have been like the less in terms of the criminality. They would have had probably misdemeanor, not checking into immigration at times, and then they ended up in ICE, and they have been sent out, and we would accept them. So that security thing, it's bogus. Because those that we would accept would have already passed the security litmus test. Okay? So that security thing is out of the window. He has just added insult to injury to tell us now that the Haitians are here. They have reached the zenith in terms of the health system, the schooling system, the educational system, the housing system. And the Haitians, I can tell you, there is no empirical data. But I hardly, because the Latino, the Spanish that are here, they speak their own distinct language. So I would know, as opposed to a Haitian. But you can hear some accent and you will determine this person is a foreign person. But predominantly, in a disparative manner, it's like adding chalk to cheese. You're comparing chalk to cheese.
Do we have a cap on those ones that you mentioned that share the same continent with Hispaniola? I'm not saying everybody's bad. We know we have bad people in every
the
country.
Prime Minister just pull a rabbit out of the bag.
That's what we're saying.
In my opinion, he just pull a rabbit out of the bag and trying to do
I understand that. I'm
diplomatic,
just asking.
diplomatic, leniency in terms of his diplomacy, and he's not he's not a good diplomat. I think he needs some training from an ordinary lay person in terms of diplomacy.
But this is where his advisors would come into play. You understand? Where his advisors would observe his weak points and buttress them. But I don't know. I question the quality of his advisors, and the second one is whether he listens to them or not. Anyway, you're going to have to break because...
Thanks for listening. Yeah.
Thank you for your contributions.
Let's take a bit of a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties of life and live a little. Get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties Ice Cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come, let your rhythm flow. Flow, 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 flow. Come, let your rhythm Come, let your rhythm flow.
Here comes the Mega Ball. You could win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4 and you could get all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. Now you can win more with the Mega Ball. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with the Pick 3 and a big $10,000 with the Pick 4. Don't wait, play today. Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide.
You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Must be 21 and over to play.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it and the beach on the tongue. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
And we are back on Island Tea, and as we continue along, I would have spoke about this numerous times on the show, but I'm not sure I did it with you, Quint. But when I had the opportunity to go to Punta Cana, and I would have interacted with Haitians that work at the all-inclusive hotel there, and
What is Punta Cana?
it's the touristy side of Santo Domingo.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would have interacted with Haitians there, and I'm not knocking anybody because, as I said, I too am an immigrant. I am not from St. Kitts and Nevis. I am a proud Guyanese.
Yes,
Good morning, Cleo.
hold a second, Cleo. Go ahead.
But I was just saying the way they treat the Haitians would tell me the way they treat them, even though they're born in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And then when they go other places, we extend great treatment to them. So it's just funny how everybody just sideline, bombard,
Yeah,
dash the
because-
Haitians in a corner and treat them
Because
like
I
nothing.
remember we had someone from a Dominican Republic who had a show here, DJ, right? And I never had a problem with him. But when they brought up that law about even if you were born there and so forth to the Haitians, I said to him one day, I said, how is it, right, that you come here, look at your skin color, because he was just like us, black. He wasn't, And I said, look at your skin color. You come here, we accept you, we don't see no difference with you. But how is it that over in your place, you treat these Haitians this way? And he couldn't give me an answer. Go ahead, Cleo.
Morning again. No. What did the person ask the Prime Minister what is the limit? Because since he's saying it reached the limit, literally like it reached the limit with the Haitian. What is the limit?
Cleo, this is the problem with our media people. They don't ask me. I listen to you and I ask questions stemming from what you said. That is
Exactly.
that is what journalism is supposed to be about. The obvious question that should be asked, they don't ask them.
Yeah, what is the limit and how much Haitian do we have on the island right now? Because if you're coming out and saying it's the limit, you should have the evidence to show that we have this amount of Haitian on the island and the limit is set and what that limit is. Just don't shout things in the air like people are supposed to suck it up. Ridiculous.
But even apart from that, Cleo, how is it that you have a limit for some, but you're still going to bring in people from outside here. How is it you have a limit for some and not for others?
But exactly, because I would, if I was a reporter, I would have asked, okay, we have a lot of Spanish. What is there a limit on them? Because we have a lot of people from other islands. Is there a limit on the other islands? Can you let us know what the limit is? Because from what I've been hearing about right now, when it comes to the Spanish and the Jamaican women in St. Kitts, from what I've been hearing, it's not very good. Because in I heard we literally have prostitution they're just doing it up down there.
Mind you, we can't paint all of them with the same brush, but yes, that is happening. Yeah.
And when you hear, and these are coming from men, the complaint is coming from men, not women. Men is who talking about how they have down there with this prostitution. So next time the reporters get in front of the Prime Minister, ask him, tell us the numbers of Haitian that is in the country and what was the limit that was set for them, and is there a limit set for others?
If you're gonna say that the Haitians is gonna put a strain on our housing and our medical facilities and all those other things.
But isn't the rest gonna do the same?
Not only the rest, I'm specifically putting emphasis on these that the United States are saying they want to send here.
If those are men, Quinn.
Yes, those are who I'm putting on, because they are not here yet. And even though the U.S. may send some amount of money to set them up, who's going to be saddled with the burden forever and ever after from them and their offspring? So how is there no limit to that?
Because the U.S. is not going to support them forever.
That's it.
It'd probably give them 2 months and tell them you better go find a job and get yourself together. Let's not be fooled.
As somebody said
and
in the comments,
get a one-time payment.
The St. Lucia Prime Minister said it best. My hands were tied. It's funny the rest won't say that too.
But even that is no excuse. Your hands are tied because you keep going out there on your own.
Exactly.
What if they were approached on their own? That's what I keep saying. What if they knew it's better to divide and conquer?
You will be approached on your own, Hortensia, if you do not strive for unity. Before I was born, the Caribbean older leaders were trying to unify, some of them.
But I'm not sure.
So what I'm saying is, they're not trying. They feel good on their own, and on their own. Look, you see what is. Why don't the Caribbean stop and realize what is happening? The same EU, the European economy, is trying to unify. Listen to them speak to each other and hear what they're saying. But we can't learn. And the EU, the European economy, is way ahead of us in so many ways. But they realize it's the big USA they have to fight, and they must unite. But little dots in the Caribbean can't see that we must unite too. I mean, come on.
That's Quinn. But before I go off the phone, let me big up my villagers, because I watched a video on yesterday where they catch some Chinese people dumping garbage where they're not supposed to be dumping in Connery. So let me big up my villagers for stopping them and holding them. And I pray that they charge them with the full extent of the law, whatever amount of money. And if I was the villagers, I'll make them pick up all the garbage that was there, whether they turn them out or not. Yeah. Because can you imagine if they catch them that day? Can you imagine the many times they did before and they wasn't caught?
Yeah, they've been doing it all the time.
And it's us.
And it's things like those that make me always say, no matter where I live, I'm always a Connery person at heart. Okay, so yeah.
So I hope the authority make sure they pay that how much $20,000 or whatever they said they're supposed to pay. I hope they do make them pay.
I'm sure they're not gonna make them pay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna let them get off scot-free.
Knowing the people we are, they probably will.
Not we.
God,
the people.
People in charge.
The people our leaders are. Let's put it right there.
People our leaders are.
Yes.
It's so sad because If it was a local, they'll make them pay. But
Yeah.
the pigment, and oh God help us.
And mind you, it's these Chinese. I'm not lumping all of them, but those who are showing us how to do this thing where recycling and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing that on one end and dumping stuff on the other end. You see the
Yeah, but
hypocrisy?
I like how the young man tell him, pick them up, pick them up. I hear talking in Chinese, so
Excuse me.
he probably cursing him out.
Yeah,
Why?
that's
That's the
what
bad
right.
part. When you don't know the language, you don't know you're getting cussed
They
out.
can curse all they want.
Exactly. He said,
Okay.
pick them up, you're not going anywhere. I love how they do it. Kudos to my villagers.
Dan said it best. I was looking at a video with him this morning, not agreeing with us bringing deportees here, but I can't play it because it has
Expletives.
yes in it. But he makes a lot of sense. I wish that wasn't in it. If I can get it edited, then we can play it. But that young man makes a lot of sense with a lot of things that he says. Somebody might look at him and say, "Oh, he needs to hush," but he speaks a lot of sense, and he's brave
Can you
enough to
break
speak
down
out.
what he say?
He's basically saying we don't need to bring those people here. We treat our own people bad when they get sent back as deportees. So he don't think that because sometimes we don't even have house for them.
Yeah.
He says we don't have jobs for the people that live here.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna find jobs for them? And he said it's gonna be a strain on us. He said we don't have a community, and he was like mocking. He was speaking to me like Spanish, but Spanglish, and yeah, we don't treat people good. We treat everybody else that come a little better, but we don't treat we own people kindly.
Yeah.
So he don't think the prime minister should bring anybody at all, and he makes plenty sense.
Yeah. Okay, clear.
All right, I'll continue listen. I'll let the line be free for somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your contribution.
Hello,
as
caller.
always.
Hello, caller.
Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you guys. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning to you guys, man. You see, Quint, the Prime Minister took up the chairmanship of CARICOM, and a step up means that you got to step up your game. He went right up into that big chair, and look at the comments and the presentation that he's making as the chairman of CARICOM. You know, and also the Prime Minister thinks it's a Nevis. And I'm calling him out this morning again.
Well, even you see, our leaders need to understand. We live in it may seem like a big world, but because of communication and technology, it's a small world. If you go and you listen to a lot of those African commentators, a lot of them are showing you pictures of our Prime Minister and what he's saying, you know.
Yes, and I'm going to back that up because the area that we're living in, this is social media time. This is not when the mail went from East Coast in the United States to the West Coast by stagecoach. Within seconds, man, you're seeing what's going on the other side of the world. And that's what's killing these leaders, these leaders everywhere, especially in the black countries and black islands. The stuff that they used to get away with, the corruption and all that type of stuff, it's being highlighted. And the citizens are getting smarter and smarter, and they're paying attention, they're getting up to speed with this stuff. We cannot be fooled anymore. Man, the Prime Minister got to make an adjustment. You know, when I talk like this, some people don't like it. But it's still country of ourselves. And if the Prime Minister needs help, the man needs help if he needs help. The man got to stop talking about Timothy Harris and the previous administrations. It's not about what Team Unity did with a few handful of Haitians and send them back. It's about he stereotyping the whole nation of Haiti with the millions of citizens over there in Haiti. And he got to be concerned about the backlash this has created on social media. Man, it's not about the Prime Minister. It's not about the party he represents and thinks. It's about the country of St. Nevis as a federation, and our citizens are being talked about in the most demeaning manner. Himself is taking some backlash as well. Don't he care about how people perceive him around the world? Man, Dr. Drew, I'm speaking directly to you this morning, man. Man, if you have to replace them advisors to make yourself, portray yourself a little bit better, man.
Well, there's another.
Make a difference. Make a difference.
Well, hold a second. There's another caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning to everybody. I will listen to Bull.
Go ahead, Burl.
Yeah. So what I want to say, Chris, you said this before. You cannot move like the previous leaders or the previous politicians that was inside. When you get inside, you got to make a change. You got to come different and better. That's got to be a personal goal. And bigger goals in general, where you want to see the federation in 20 years, in 10 years. By the end of your term, if you're a one-term prime minister or two-term prime minister, by the time you retire out of politics, do you want St. Nevis to be in the same position where you picked it up? No. We got to make some type of difference and be better than the previous. We got to advance and progress the federation. It's time for Dr. Drew to really govern and stop looking back. Man, the election is around the corner. This man got to make some midterm adjustments. I mean, look at the agriculture situation in St. Nevis. I've seen a clip where they're making some changes, some overturn in the agriculture sector. I don't know if it's the PSs. I didn't get that correctly. Somebody can call in and correct me or make a clarification. They're unlike the fourth person. I don't know what position was that in the agriculture department, but it's been tremendous backlash on St. Kitts and Nevis citizens in the diaspora and around the world. And locally, when he was on freedom, I put in a text on the chat. Should the Prime Minister apologize? Man, somebody came right behind me and said, oh, what should he apologize for? Man, this stuff is unbelievable. As a man, if you need to make an apology, it's not beneath you, man. Especially when you're in that big chair, call yourself a leader. Then whatever the fish thinks from the head, whatever goes on at the top, it normally trickles down to the citizens. And in the United States, we don't like Trump's behavior, right? As far as I see, as far as I can tell, the time that I've been living in the United States, the rhetoric and the attitude of the president, he also filters down to the citizens. You see that word bullying? That little kid on that clip that Hortensia played, I feel for him, man, as a kid. Have to go through that on the playing field. Kids are being bullied every day, and then some persons get bullied, and they react. They bring a gun to school and shoot up the place. Mm-hmm. We don't want to see that type of stuff happening. Yeah. But the president have that bullyish mentality, and it's filtering down to the citizens. And in terms of the immigration situation, it's possibly going to get worse before it gets better. And I wish the St. Nevis people the best of luck going forward. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yes. Well, good morning to everybody once more again. Greetings in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, through faith only by the Bible only, according to the Bible only, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, Quint and Cartensia. First of all, Africa has invited me for Voices this Wednesday coming. Wednesday coming. Next week, Africa invited me to Voices. Secondly, I saw a posting on my WhatsApp, and it is on the St. Kitts and Nevis Times page, the group thing, and it says something. It says here, where the headline, and the link is to Facebook. The link is from is going to take it to Facebook. But the headline says, Haiti goes back. Viral song drags think it's Nevis, CARICOM, and PM Terrence Joe over Haitian exclusion. You and they have in brackets. I guess it's the name of the song. You can close your borders, but you will never erase Haiti. And apparently the song, well, they have a link to the song at the bottom of that particular posting. And the link will take you to TikTok, Caribbean Queen. And on the Caribbean Queen, they have at Caribbean Queen 25. All is one word, at Caribbean Queen 25.
Did you listen to it?
No, I haven't listened to it. As a matter of fact, I just came across it just a few minutes.
Yeah, I saw it
ago,
last
just a
night,
few minutes
but
ago.
I didn't pay much mind because I don't know if everything I see is true sometimes.
Right. But I'm just seeing this thing by Caribbean Queen, at Caribbean Queen 25, and it's the first song that is pinned on this TikTok page, the first pinned song. And so I say it's very interesting, and
but Greg,
it's very interesting.
but Greg, I'm listening to you, right? And I see where you often make your blunders and why you don't do deep research, because I would have thought that having read the article, and I'm speaking from my perspective, I would have gone to the song, listen to the song, hear what the song says, see how it ties into the whole thing before I come on. Sometimes, for instance, I have clips that I played, I know them, but I can't just play them because I want to make sure I listen to them keenly so that I understand, for instance, what is being said. Like the clip I played yesterday with the interim leader in Venezuela, right? I scrutinized that, played it over a couple of times to be sure that the other individual was talking over. And so in a nutshell, what I'm saying, when you hear these things, go a little bit more in depth, because I was curious. I wanted you to come and tell me what the song said and so forth.
Yeah, but like I said just a few minutes ago, and
But
I'm
that is
listening
what
to
I'm
your program.
that is what I'm saying. So when you
Yeah,
hear,
but I didn't want to cut off your program, but in the posting, it have what's supposed to be the lyrics. Now I have read the lyrics. For example, I could read you. For example, you can close your borders, you can close your doors, but as the song, well, but how the habit have written as lyrics.
But it's not lyrics.
But well, anyhow, the reason why I haven't listened to this song, like I said, I've been listening to it, so I don't want to go and play this song and miss what is said and voice.
Greg, as usual, you never get the point. The point is, I'm saying, I hear what you're saying. I am saying, listen, even though you just heard it, this is what I would have done. I would say, okay, I'm going to listen to it when the program is finished, and tomorrow I'm going to come and explain.
But no island till tomorrow. That's the thing.
Well, whenever.
Otherwise I would have done that.
Well, it could come
otherwise
next
I would have
week.
done that.
It could come next week. You understand?
Yeah.
Whenever.
Like I saw it, but I didn't think to, because I'd be like, Lord of mercy.
Yeah, but I tried to so that people interested there as well, could go and if they're interested, could go and listen to it and read.
Well, that
on the Facebook page.
That part is good. But I wanted to hear from you personally.
What
okay.
it said.
Yeah. Anyhow, So when the program finished now, I will definitely go and
listen to
it, and then God Spare Life Monday. And then God Spare Life Monday now. I will be in a better position to go even in more detail.
Yeah.
And I guess others would also, by that time, familiarize themselves with it as well.
Yeah, because you brought it to the fore.
Yeah. But and not the last thing though. When I spoke to this issue, and I think it was this week, it's yesterday or something like that, where I said it seemed to me initially when the Haitians them had came here illegally, and the Africans as well, it seemed to me initially Dr. Joe had wanted to send them back, okay? But some of us spoke out. And it seemed to me that played a lot in influencing Dr. Joe to let them stay here. And then after that, he came on the radio and said, oh, how he has housed them at this
But
place.
those weren't the Africans?
There were Africans at one point and Haitians at another.
The Haitians were there before his administration.
No, during his administration too.
The Haitians were? How come?
Remember, they always, now and again, you find them, you know.
I swear it was, okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, yes, and it seemed to me that after we had said, no, let them stay here, then he came on the radio and said, well, we are housing them, I think it was up Stapleton or Monkey or someplace like that. And we will let them, you know, live in the federation and that sort of stuff. But it seemed to me, maybe my impression was wrong, but like I say, it seemed to me initially he was willing to send them back in agreement with those who are calling in on the radio to send them back. And so I think
you know what is funny, Greg, with this thing with the United States wanting to send people here. I'm sure that a lot of people are grumbling behind doors and so forth. Oh, you know, we can't even get jobs here and so forth. But they're not going to call and say anything. But when it was with the Haitians now, you hear a lot of them calling. And why is it that everybody feel that the Haitians are just rife for everybody to just pick on them and run over them, you know? Would we like that? I remember when I was a young boy and we migrated to the U.S. Virgin Islands and how the U.S. Virgin Islanders treated us as Kititians and Nevisians and Antiguans and so forth. And it was just like that young boy there. It's just that I wasn't one who was going to go around and cry,
You know, when I went
but
to
you
school,
felt it.
They told me that I came on a soccer leave. I bang water. You know, the children are rude and mean.
That's it, you know.
Yeah, they were rough. They were rough on me.
Yeah. So if you don't like something for yourself, why are you doing it to your own people? I mean, to others, and especially the Haitians, who we know their history. The Haitians are suffering from then till now because they stood up. That is why the argument we had yesterday with Mr. McMahon, sometimes not everybody who stands up dies, and for generations some of them live. But you're not supposed to suffer because you express yourself indefinitely and you're supposed to suffer. When will this suffering for Haiti end? Because they stood up for their right. But yet still you're going to tell me Americans supposed to stand up for their rights. Canadians supposed to stand up for their right. Icelanders are to stand up for their rights. Greenlanders are Green Islanders, but not black people, not Haitians.
Right.
All around the Caribbean, we treat them bad. I remember when they used to fly to Ghana, even to get to French Ghana. Sometimes we have to bring them back out of Ghana when I was a flight attendant because they don't want them there. They say they're going there, but then they disappear in Ghana. It's like everybody just run them. Everywhere run them.
But it's sad though. It's sad.
Yeah, because they go to Dominica to get across the Guadeloupe and Martinique. They don't want to stay in Dominica. Yeah, they have a little population, but even sometimes there too, they were put back on the aircraft to go because they didn't meet the requirements for landing in Dominica. When in their heads they know Dominica is not their final stop.
Yeah.
And Quint, let me also say something. You see, like I just brought up Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to a radio program by the late Harry Brown. And that was like in the 90s, early 2000s. And he said, once you have nuclear weapons, America ain't going to attack you. You know, once you have nuclear weapons, they will talk and talk, but once you have nuclear weapons, they ain't, because nobody wants no nuclear weapon to drop on them.
No.
Okay? Even though you
But
might,
the-
even
but-
though you might have
but the
enough
only-
to
the-
wipe out a country.
The only place in history we know that has used real nuclear weapon is the United States of America.
Yes, and they use it twice.
Yeah, you understand?
World Wars?
Yes.
No, yes, in the World War, but for the Japanese, that's why the Japanese decided they were not going to deal with war. But look, because of what they see happening now, they're going to go back military, and they're going to make sure that this time they have nuclear weapons, because they were used as, it was an experiment, you know. The U.S. The U.S. If you go back in the history book, they were experimenting with the level of destruction that nuclears can reap, and they wanted to experiment with it, and they chose those two places in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, to take massive amount of lives just snuffed out in seconds, minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you ain't see, for example, in Trump's first term, he was giving North Korea a lot of hard talk, but he had to back up because North Korea had weapons.
And North Korea,
and they let him know that they were willing to use them.
And that's it. That's the point. The North Korean leader say what you want about him. I feel he's kind of deranged, but hey, he stood up and he's
he's deranged when he's gonna lock up 2-year-olds with their parents because they had Bibles in the house.
The more they push, the more they push him, the more he was experimenting and showing out.
Experimenting with them.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what Harry Brown, the late Harry Brown, said. Once you got nuclear weapons, they ain't gonna attack you.
Yeah.
You know. And that is a very, very truthful thing that I think he said. And that's all the stuff. But what I'm gonna say lastly is that, like I always say, I always appreciate more and more every moment of my life, the more and more I learn about the Bible and its wisdom. You see, the more your economy is run by the private sector, and the more open and free market capitalist your economy is, with at the very minimum of decreasing taxes, minimizing taxes, as the Bible teaches, optimally and the biblical way, to have voluntary taxation. But the more these things characterize the economy, the more people come into your country, the better it will be for your country, because it will create markets, it will create jobs, create opportunities, and so on, and therefore increase the standard of living and continually decrease the cost of living, and that would be a great blessing.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that is why I admire the Bible wisdom every moment of my life, because when you do things the Bible way, you always win. You never lose.
Okay.
And Jesus Christ makes sure that.
Yeah.
Okay, take care. God bless you.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, I'm going to take a commercial break, and when I get back, I'm going to go into a little bit of a history lesson. Now and again on Ireland here, I want to now and again play clips that deal with social life, maybe a bit of history, and you know, but we'll always play it by ear. So I'll try to do that.
I have a short one too when we come back.
Yeah.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers.
So play today.
At any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
A better me plus a better you equals better businesses and organizations. At the Sagicor Cahill School of Business and Management, we're giving you the opportunity to become a better you. Save 30% on selected executive education and professional development programs and experience the power of continuous learning and development. Gain new skills, broaden your knowledge, strengthen your impact. Because your development is your best investment. Visit cahill.uwi.edu/schsbm to learn more. Promotion ends January 31st, 2026. Terms and conditions apply.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Why?
We're back on Island Tea. Sorry about that. And for those of you who didn't hear it, here it goes. And it's from Freedom FM. It's just about 4 minutes after the hour of 9.
Of all the communities in the Caribbean, which community do you think we have actively settled the most in the largest numbers?
Yes, but there seems to be a shift now.
No, there's no shift. It's just that we have the capacity, and that capacity we have reached in respect because of what we can afford.
Okay.
Haiti has received the most.
Okay.
That is what. So I hope that clarifies it for you. This is what St. Kitts and Nevis can afford in our discussion. Already Haiti has received the most of that.
Okay.
And therefore, if you allow it for CARICOM...
So you've reached that quota?
We have reached that quota.
Okay.
And not only we have reached the quota, it will be the largest quota of all who we accept.
Okay.
And so I recognize, I think Haiti would represent easily 50% or more of our capacity to absorb others into St. Kitts and Nevis under any program.
Okay.
So your point is correct. It should be Haiti, and we have done that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you see, this is why we say leave certain things alone. Leave certain things alone, because you're contradicting the fact that you're now still going to open our borders to what the U.S. wants to bring in, and there are many question marks as to those that the U.S. wants to send in. There's a big concern. So why is it that you will allow the U.S. to send in people who they are going to pick? You think the U.S. is, you think Trump them stupid? They know who they are going to send to you. They're going to know them in and out. And the whole Caribbean is just opening our arms and embracing them. We know the history of Haitians. They are in desperate need. They need help. We don't know these people who the U.S. wants to saddle us with. We know that they have certain kind of backgrounds. And if you follow the history of the U.S., you know that they're going to put people in there, some of them in there who they're going to use against us. You know that. Any leader with any savvy and knows a smattering of history, you see that word I use? A smattering of history, knows, as the Grenadian leader said, he said, the intention of the U.S. is to undermine the Caribbean region.
You know, good thing you mentioned the Grenadian leader, because I was looking at something from Grenada and somebody says, oh, because he didn't take the radar, they put a level travel advisory on him. And now to ease the travel advisory to get Grenada back where it should be, he decides now he's going to take deportees. So the person was very upset about that.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with us. But I say, if we were united, all of this would not be happening.
Somebody said the political leaders of CARICOM and the OECS have determined that they are not interested in a political union from which they can speak with one voice like the European Union.
I agree with that comment. It has to be they have made separate decisions. Hello, caller.
Good morning. Good morning, all.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, the Prime Minister would do well to remember that if you're in a hole, you should stop digging.
You know.
Okay? Yes. You know what's unfortunate about this? It seems as if our country is now becoming the poster child of this wrong policy.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knows that Haitians have been ostracized and discriminated against and so on. And everybody now is using us as an example.
You're
of
right,
that.
you know. You're right, you know, because I'm not much of a media person, but I can tell you, anytime I put on my phone or my computer now, I'm seeing our Prime Minister, and somebody's making a comment about his stance on Haiti.
Yeah.
Imagine the Miami Herald, he's all over, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
This is coming. This is reaching the level of disgusting now. Okay, it would have been nice if maybe an apology very early on. An apology now, of course, would not do it. But if it had been made very early on, clarification made very early on, and so that this would have gone away. But it's not the nature, I think, of politicians to apologize, or they'll always try to do things which they think will uplift their image, okay? So even when they're wrong, they have to come up with something to make it look.
But
like
Mr.
they're right.
McMahon, why did we need to know who we are not taking, but we don't know who we are taking?
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. and
You couldn't have put it
I am
better,
sure.
Hortensia. I think you're going to be a diplomat soon in your next life.
That's what in my next life.
We all have you down for being lots of things. I don't know how you
I
get
know. I have to choose.
Yeah. But this to me demonstrates something which was troubling from the start.
Yes.
The Prime Minister initially got this misnomer as being of being July.
Yeah.
You know, which was essentially started out as propaganda.
Yeah.
It was ignored, and over time, it's like because it was ignored and because of his propensity to repeat stuff, like projects and so on that are supposed to be coming and forever and ever ad nauseum.
Yeah.
You know, it feeds into that narrative, and this is the same. Okay, there's too much emphasis on trying to have an image of an image that he's not. Put it that way.
But
Okay?
Mr. McMahon, the problem he's faced with is twofold, because he's not only the leader of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, he's now in that position that represents the region. So that statement, I think that is why everybody's now jumping on him, because it's not just little microcosm St. Kitts and Nevis, it's the whole of CARICOM.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And to, you know, there might have been something late and something on the line where people resented. Well, certainly the Haitians would have resented the fact that they were stigmatized.
Yes.
But other groups as well who migrate would look at this as this is how they really think about us.
Yeah, well, Hortensia said it, and it even brought her back to when she was in school and the things they said to her.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It rehashes.
Right? And-
It rehashes bad memories.
Right, and that is not good. I mean, it's not good for it's not good for Dr. Joe as a leader. It's not good for the country. We don't want St. Kitts and Nevis to be considered the outlier, the country that doesn't care. You know.
Yeah.
It's not a good reputation to have.
Yeah.
I remember.
Hold
Yeah.
a second. There's another caller. Hello, caller. I hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm going to say this quickly. During your time of advertisement, I went and I listened to the song. It is a short song, but it is very catchy. And be it AI generated or not, if the article is correct that people are listening to it, I could see why, because it's a very catchy song and it doesn't make St. Kitts look good. Period.
Okay.
Anyhow, take care, both of y'all.
All right.
God bless.
You
See,
hear that? You hear that?
That's what I'm getting at.
You hear that latter
yeah.
part? It doesn't make St. Kitts look good.
And you know, it's funny, St. Kitts is always in the news, be it at the airport, something that happens. They have us on TikTok all over, like every minute is just something about St. Kitts. So we don't want St. Kitts in a bad light anymore.
Bad light,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, every minute.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't do anything for our brand.
Yeah.
The thing is, how do we fix this? You know, that's the problem now. How do we fix this? Because, well, first of all, it has to be acknowledged that a problem exists. Yeah. I'm not sure that the government feels that way yet. They feel they can overcome this with just spinning and propaganda of its own and so on. And I don't think that's going to help. Okay? It may help in terms of the local audience. And I think that's one of the problems that I think the Prime Minister had in transitioning from campaigning to governing. I don't think he ever left the campaigning mode, and that is why, as Greg, said this morning that he's always, not Greg, I think it might have been somebody else.
Africa.
Said this morning that, you know, he always goes back to what Unity did, what Harris did, and those kinds of things.
Well,
when he should be more forward looking.
I think it was both Africa and Burl.
And Burl.
Burl.
I think mostly Burl. Because Burl
Right.
said he's always harping on the old
Yes.
administration.
He has not managed to transition from the campaign into the government. So those kinds of... So basically, now when he comes to make a statement of regional regional importance, he's still thinking what would Kittitians and divisions say or think about this.
But let me extend that further, because I agree with you. But doesn't that tie into when our people are passive? Because what you're in a sense saying is because we allow him to get away with certain things, he's not on his toes, and therefore he's apt to make certain mistakes because he's looking at it from a St. Kitts Nevis perspective as opposed
insular, yes, an insular perspective, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that to me that is obvious. That, as well as the fact that how could I put this delicately?
You're much a better diplomat than I am, so.
Well, put it this way: he has a lot of advisors and consultants and envoys and all those things. How have they served him?
That's the question.
In the final analysis, and the thing is, when you have too many, and you have to listen to too many voices, you're apt to make mistakes. Okay. You should have a depth a conviction, a vision of your own.
That's
Okay?
true.
You should also have.
That's why I don't give him that much of a leeway, even though yes, he has advisors. He has his own cognitive,
Yes, you like I said, you should have a gut instinct that tell you when something is wrong, that you don't, regardless of whoever else. Your concerns, your mindset, your worldview should come out. You're the leader, right? And so, sure, listen to advice, but don't come up with no scrambled thing of consensus from your advisors, right? Go with your gut, and know me that his gut would have told him, listen, you don't make comments like that about a country like Haiti.
Yeah.
Right? that was a mistake. There are some mistakes, I think.
Hold a second. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah. There are some mistakes that we don't expect leaders to make.
I agree.
Okay. Yes, they're not infallible. They everybody make mistakes. They're not perfect and so on. But you can't use that to justify some mistakes. Some mistakes should not be made. Right? You don't expect them to be made of a leader.
But you know what this shows me, Mr. McMahon? This shows me that, for instance, which has been irritating me for almost forever. Whenever we hear, occasionally we hear, when it is convenient for the external powers, and when I say external, I mean the West, you might hear all of a sudden they have a concern for Haiti, right? And this is what they do. They say, we're going to help Haiti and we're going to use Caribbean people. We're not going to be in the forefront. We're going to use Caribbean people to push in the forefront. And it irritates me because I have always known that those Caribbean people are only being used as pawns. But now we see it plain, clear, and simple, because they must have been given some kind of directive, because all of them seem to be reluctant to deal with the Haitians, but all of them are embracing taking what the U.S. wants to send our way. All of them. So doesn't that show you that they're not leading on their own? They're just being used as puppets and pawns.
Well, was it Carpenter who said that? It was St. Lucia said,
"Yeah,
my hands are tied."
Yeah.
I mean that said it all.
Yeah.
That said it all. It says it all, not about how they are reacting. It says that they've essentially given up.
Yeah.
Right? And don't recognize. I could understand CARICOM because I could understand.
Before you continue, they might say they're giving up at the behest so that the people could maintain their visa status, because we see what is being troubled and how their electorate could probably react to them and not give them another opportunity in office. So maybe they could say that's the next reason too why they did what they did.
But that shows the sad state of affairs that we are in as a Caribbean people.
Yes, because what I'm saying is, you would think the gut reaction is to come together and have a unified approach, but they're not doing that. And when I say have a unified approach, I am talking on the national level as well.
Yeah.
Because the reason why they're afraid of what the people might say or do in response to what they're doing is that oppositions in the various islands are going to seize the moment and take advantage of it.
Mr. McMahon, have you listened to the recent economic forum? Where
yes.
Okay.
You mean in Davos? Yes.
Yes. And did you notice that almost all of the other leaders around the world on that forum, apart from the U.S., was saying unity and unify and unity and unify?
I mean, the EU itself, you'd think we'd have an advantage over them in terms of, well, at least we have a common language.
Yeah.
Dialects not included, but we have a common language. We can communicate.
Dialects included. I disagree with you.
No, because their dialect is different to our dialect.
Yeah, but dialects. I take issue when we try to spurn against.
All right.
Yeah.
So we speak English and dialect. So
that's another controversial topic we could discuss sometime, because I heard somebody say, I saw a clip of somebody saying, sure, dialects are great, but when you have to communicate with the rest of the world.
Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, I wholeheartedly. Why do you think I say to people when I'm here on the radio, this isn't how I speak? When I'm not on the radio, it's pure dialect.
Right,
I'm not looking at my grammar and all of that
transition. Everybody can't make the transition, right? And if if you're essentially branded by just going out on the street or going in the market and hearing everybody talking dialect, right? You would think that we can talk standard English.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's very important in dealing with the rest of the world to be able to, because that's one of the advantages the United States have, that everybody in the United States speaks some kind of English.
Yeah.
Okay, all the states regardless.
Yeah, but they
okay,
do have
and English has been adopted as pretty much the world language, right? So don't mind the billions that speak Chinese or the billions that speak whatever we call the language in India, the official language. A lot of people in India speak English.
I think it's Hindi, but I'm not sure.
Hindi, yeah. Okay, so we have to look at world standards. But the point I was making, EU have a lot of different languages among them. Languages among them.
Yeah.
Okay, and if they can
come together,
they can decide that boy, we better unify to
to survive.
This common threat. Then who are we?
That's what I'm saying.
But our leaders don't recognize it. They concentrate on their little microcosm, their little area, and think about how can I get re-elected, as opposed to what is best for my people in a global environment. Okay, and as a result of that, they don't, something like this, the refugees and the deportees would have been an ideal issue for the government to approach the opposition on, lay down the cards, stop the secrecy, and be the transparent, open government that you claim to be. Lay down the cards, say what the U.S. is asking for, right?
But they cannot, Mr. McMahon,
Yeah,
because they're individuals and they will be picked out and picked off as individuals. For them to do that, they have to unify.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I agree with you.
At the local level, but that's the unity starts at the local level, right? You want to go to the others, talking unity when your country itself is that is.
More. Promotion ends
Together going strong, no matter what we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in, our hands up in the sky, celebrate and come let your rhythm flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm come let your rhythm flow.
The holidays just got a whole lot brighter with the new $5 Holiday Stash Scratch Ticket. It's easy to play, packed with $1,000 prizes and many chances for you to win big this holiday season. So go ahead, treat yourself, spread some cheer, and stack some cash. Play Holiday Stash today at Caribbean Lottery agents and vending machines island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. Please play responsibly.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be. It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down.
the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators. Repairs are fast, easy, and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
Wow.
Welcome back to Island Tea. It's just about 9:30. You can see Dominic has me cracking up already. And we have not even started the program, but we were having our own little tralala before we begin. So Dominic, welcome back to the studios.
Thank you for having me. A little crack up is good sometimes.
I know, and y'all don't want to know we cracking about.
No,
we can't tell you.
Can't tell you no.
Not at all.
No, but we'll tell them what TDC has to talk about.
Exactly.
Today.
Home insurance. So Dominic, take it away.
So property insurance is designed. Well, let me stop before I go into the language. A lot of people, I think it's early yet. It's early yet. It's January. Why are we talking about home insurance? It's not June. It's not. We don't have any disasters or anything. It's a little chilly at night, but yeah. But property insurance is important, right? And it's designed to protect your building and the contents against unexpected events, right? So property insurance doesn't stop fires, it doesn't stop floods or theft, but it determines how well you recover when that happens. And adequate insurance turns disasters into setbacks instead of financial ruin. So for those persons who may have property or there's a house or you're doing business, it's important to make sure that you have insurance coverage for these unlikely events. Again, it could be an earthquake. We've had a number of earthquakes last year. Again, today's rainy. It could be rain.
Flood.
Right. So that having insurance, home insurance, makes sure that you're protected. The contents are protected, your building is protected. So we're going to look at different types of home insurance. So we're going to start with fire. Now, reducing fire-related financial risk is very important. The stove might blow up. It could be electrical. It could be a spark from outside that catches your building or your home, whichever one. So insuring your properties at full rebuilding cost is important when it comes to fire. Update your sums insured after renovations. These are tips that persons need to know when they have these insurance. Review your insurance annually. Some people just pay and then there's an issue and then, but I didn't know I wasn't covered for A, B, C, D, E. So if you're not certain what your policy covers, contact your TDC insurance professional at 465-2845 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis and set an appointment for one of our agents to go through your policy and what it covers. So that in the unlikely event that we're at a situation where you encounter whether a natural disaster, an incident, a fire, a flood, you know exactly what you're paying for and what it covers. So since we are not, you have to ensure that you maintain proper electrical systems and appliances. Some persons don't check, but every household should ensure that they check your electricals, make sure you got your fire extinguisher. Some people, I know in the US fire alarms are a big thing. That's something you should consider.
And extinguishers.
Right, and extinguishers, yes.
In California, some people have extinguishers in every single room. It seems like it's mandatory at their houses.
Right, so you have to make sure that forms part of your home insurance plan, so that you protect your property. Not just your property, but the persons within the property, as well as the contents.
For the fire insurance coverage, is it mandatory in what is written? Because sometimes it's tedious to read those things.
That's why you need to talk to your insurance policy provider.
That you have a fire extinguisher or a smoke detector in your home?
It is a requirement that you have those. Right?
Okay.
It is a requirement. Whether you're home or your business, it is a requirement that you should have those to protect your contents and the persons in the building.
Okay.
Right? So property insurance and theft. That's home insurance, right?
Mhm.
Protecting your place. Theft is more than just stolen items, right? From property insurance, from a property insurance perspective, theft creates two types of loss. Direct loss, which is items that are stolen, your appliances, your electronics, your furniture, yes, even your clothing.
Oh, yes.
Even your clothing, your jewelry, your watches, and other valuables, often limited to specified stuff. Indirect loss, broken windows, doors, locks, damage to walls, frames, fencing, disruption to household life, and a sense of security. So you have to make sure you secure your property. Extra locks, if you need to double up on two. And I know back then, as a child, I mean that old, but as a child, you had a thing, a clasp, a hasp and staple, they call them, where you actually lock the door so you protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's even a requirement. I actually had a customer who called last week to ask if we still sell them. I was shocked. He was looking for locks to secure his place. Yeah, so he said, you still sell these? I said, yes, we do. So you have to protect your property as well, right, from theft. Many persons underestimate too often the financial shock of replacing everything at once. You could imagine that?
Yeah.
Everything at once. Insurance doesn't stop the theft, but it decides how quickly you return to a normal life. Right? It shows that you could actually speak to your provider. It's important to have that relationship with your insurance provider. And at TDC Insurance, we make sure that we have that relationship with our customers. That's why at the beginning of the year, so we're 23 days in, that we are ensuring that our customers, our clients, and the public knows the value of home insurance. Protect your insurance, because it's what you put in there. A man's house is his castle. So you have to protect your contents around the building. And the last one we're going to touch on is, conveniently, flood. It's raining today. It's raining today. So flood can cause serious structural damage. Some persons don't live in flood-prone areas, but that doesn't mean it can't happen, right?
Yeah.
To your property, affecting your foundations, your flooring, your walls, and your electrical systems. It is essential to speak again to your representatives at TDC Insurance. And I'm going to give the number again, 465-2845 for St. Kitts and 469-5430 for those persons in Nevis. It helps you to better understand exactly what is included in your coverage. So when they go through it and how it applies, knowing this in advance helps to prevent unexpected financial loss after the flood. Well, even after any of those three things that I mentioned. So for those persons who are listening, if you do have home insurance, with TDC Insurance in particular, contact our office, reach out to your insurance agent, and go through your policy. The more you know, the better it is. What it covers X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, O, L, E. It doesn't cover this, but we can provide you with this. It doesn't have this portion. Would you like to add this portion to it? So that in the unlikely event, because things happen, unexpected things happen, in the unlikely event that these things happen, you are protected and you know what you're covered for. So that you don't run on the road and say bye, bye, bye.
We like to hear discount, whether it's a discount or not. So if I have home insurance with fire, theft, and flooding, is there a discount?
Discounts apply to some portions of the policy.
Okay.
So it just depends on what you have. So for those persons who want to know what they have, you could ask. And of course, you could have additional add-ons as well for extra coverage.
And what am I covering?
So for example, you have you got things, you got your contents inside. Your contents, things inside, your furniture, your appliances. Some of them, and for some persons, some of them are very expensive. So you need to protect your contents inside. You could have a policy that protect your contents inside
as well, added to all of that.
Yeah, you could do that.
So where does
property itself?
Okay, so I have property insurance. What
Home
does
insurance.
it?
Home insurance. Let's go. Because some people hear property and they're thinking commercial.
Right. So we're talking home. We're not talking commercial.
Home. No, we're talking home. We're
talking home. So the place that, as Dominic said, it's our castle.
Right.
So home insurance specifically, what does it cover? Hurricanes. We spoke about theft. All
flood,
of that.
fire,
earthquakes,
hurricanes, those types of disasters.
And the contents.
In our castle. The contents right in your castle.
Okay.
In your castle.
Let me ask a question.
Sure.
Here. When I listen to all of those things, the hurricane, the content, the jewelry, isn't this insurance going to wind up being very expensive?
That's why I asked about discount.
Okay. So No, I wouldn't say it's expensive. Insurance is an investment. Let's look at it from that standpoint. It is an investment.
Says the salesman. It is an investment.
Yes, it is an investment.
I have insurance, so don't take me seriously.
I have insurance too. So it is let's look at it from that angle. It is an investment. So you have your home. Again, the home is your castle. You have your things inside. You're protected by your roof. You're protected by the walls and so forth. You need to ensure that you invest in what you value.
Yeah.
So it's an investment. If we look at it from a dollars and cents, some persons might get deterred.
Yeah.
But in the unlikely event of any of those things that we mentioned,
you're protected.
You are protected. You have the coverage, and you would have had that relationship with your insurance professional who tells you, hey, this, and this. You're covered for these. So it gives you that peace of mind as well. Not just thinking dollars and cents. It puts you at ease. Okay, I spoke to Cartencia at TDC Insurance, and this is what my policy covers. So in the unlikely event that today it's raining and the roof drop in, for some strange reason, you might not have a chance to check it. The holiday is just gone. You've been busy doing things otherwise. And a part of the roof drop in, you know, you're covered. You know what you're covered. So it's an investment and a peace of mind. Outside of looking at the financial aspect of it, you need to know, I am investing in this and I have this peace of mind. Again, it could be theft.
I hear you, but let's look at
natural disaster.
Let's look at the life itself, because life has so many different things. So I have my house insurance I have to deal with, which it also deals with my jewelry and all those kind of stuff. Okay. I still have my children to look after, to take to school. I still have school fees. I still have electricity bills. I still have all kind of taxes. Don't these, when I hear all of these insurance things, I understand, but don't these insurance people also realize that it's a bit of a strain on individuals who have to be here, all these bills, how are we going to find money to, I mean, yes, it is a security, I agree with you, but it's becoming harder and harder to maintain all of these things, and then we hear that next thing you know, which I'm glad you're doing, because usually you don't hear insurance companies coming and saying, check out this and make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. They wait until something happens and then they say, well, you didn't dot that I, so, and you didn't cross that T, so I must commend you for doing that at least. Yeah, give him a round of applause there.
You're nice T, I want you. I want you. Listen, you think I haven't been paying attention? It's T, I want. Yeah, the thing with insurance is, again, we're going to go back to, I'm going to stick with the investment portion. The thing with insurance is we do recognize that you do have financial commitments for other things. Your children, your bills, even personal care.
Yeah.
Right? So what insurance does, and what we do at TDC Insurance, is to encourage you to get that peace of mind for your investment. So if you're not sure, call us, come in, and we will go through it with you and tell you what you're covered for, how we can help you upgrade your coverage, how we could give you value-added benefits to add on. So, for example, in some cases, your policy might not have been covered for X. We can tell you, did you know that you can have X, X, and X as part of this? My way into acting the money, as part of this. And the thing is, we work with the customers and the clients. It's not that we're saying, okay, well, you know what? You don't have this, take this, it's going to cost you this. No, it's not like that. It's a process where we get our customers and clients to understand what the coverage is and how best we could help.
And
you
you're
to
also saying that you're flexible.
That's it.
Yes.
See? He should probably work in insurance.
You need to come over by
but maybe I need to have him. Yeah, maybe I need to take the number across and tell him, well, call this gentleman. He wants to know about the flexible, plans that we have at insurance. And the thing is, that we understand that times are different. Yeah. We really do. So making sure that you prioritize what is important to you, your home and your contents, is what we're about.
But a lot of people don't believe in insurance because they say, oh, we pay insurance along, and then sometimes we don't get back nothing. You know how we sound.
Yeah, I know it is. I can't believe it didn't cover that part, you know. But nobody told me that's why we're here. It's
so ask, folks. Ask.
Ask.
Don't wait for
inquire,
them to tell you.
reach out. We're reaching out. It's part of our policy now to reach out to customers, and not now, but it has been, but it's even more important now for us to reach out to a customer. So this is why this, we're doing this on Island Tea, to reach out to those customers and clients who might not know, who might not think it's important, who might think, but I signed up for this thing a couple of years ago, and I signed up for this thing last year, and made sure it was happening. But you wanted that peace of mind, so you signed up. But what does it say? How do you benefit? What are you entitled to in the unlikely event of any of those things that we mentioned? So going forward, this is, again, we're going to bring in a few of the, I wouldn't say experts, we're going to bring in a few of the agents who could explain in layman's terms some of the policies. But for this portion, we want to make sure that it's early in the year still. We don't want you to forget the importance and the value of home insurance. We don't want you to do that, because your home is your castle.
Your home is. Listen, I tell you, Dominic have all the taglines. Dominic, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I know our time runs quickly. Sorry, no tea. Yeah.
No tea.
But you have a great
see that,
day.
Quint? Sorry, no tea.
You have a great day, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you, but I'll have a cup of tea after I leave, and I'll think of you guys when I'm sipping my tea.
Okay. No tea.
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators. Repairs are fast, easy, and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
And we're back on Island Tea. It's just about 9:47. Listen, Dominic just keep egging me about the tea, right? So Quint, I tell him I'm going to set him up. He said, I hope you ain't set me up for Valentine. When I come in, he feel he have talks, He really feel he has talks. Listen.
I disagree with you. I don't think he feel he has talks. I think he has talks.
Can't with Dominic. But that's good. Every week he comes, we have a good laugh. It's always a pleasure having him in studio. So remember, if you don't have home insurance, you go to TDC. They're open and willing to talk to you, and it seems like they'll also work with your budget. And as he said, we're going to get the representatives, or he's going to get the representatives to come in, and they are going to break it down and speak to us further. He was just bringing the broad picture that your home is your castle, and it needs to be protected at
all costs.
All costs, yeah.
Well, I promised that I would close places that got its riches from the slave trade.
Nope.
Yes. And Denmark owned the islands, Saint Croix, St. John, St. Thomas.
I know they had Danish influence there.
And they sold them to the U.S. And you know what they profited from in that area? Sugarcane. Yeah, so they profited from slavery.
Of Danish involvement, the economic and human costs, and its legacy that established its first significant colonial possession in the Caribbean, the island of St. Thomas. Soon after, Denmark expanded to St. John in 1718 and St. Croix in 1733, areas that would later become the heart of Denmark's colonial empire in the Americas. Denmark also began trading on the coast of West Africa, primarily in modern-day Ghana, where it established forts to facilitate the purchase and transport of enslaved Africans. The key organization responsible for managing Denmark's colonial and slave trading operations was the Danish West India and Guinea Company, or DWIG, founded in 1671. The company was created to oversee Denmark's economic interests in the Caribbean and West Africa.